Edward, are you ready? Are you ready to come back?
Dash, I wanna dash, I wanna run it.
I'm so old.
Dash,
I cannot recognize your song reference. What was the singer? Who's the singer?
I was doing it earlier too, NMix.
Oh.
I throw the dice, yeah.
The only thing I remember about NMix is their music video with Zero Coke.
We synchronize in Shanghai, yeah.
This time, you mean?
Come on, Eyelid.
Yes, actually, to be honest, I love that song.
I don't care how much shit people talk about
Yes.
Eyelid. It is the anthem, along with Fast Forward. That it's the anthem at Makukan.
Makugan is a gay club, if you guys don't know. Yes.
No, we've talked about that shit so many times. They should know by now. And if they don't, that's their fault.
I think our viewers should be educated on some basic, gay linguals in Korea, which is Makugan.
As if the past 8 months that we've been doing this, though that wasn't enough for education already. We talked about gay clubs so many times, Edward.
But you'll be surprised how people don't remember.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true.
Well.
Which hopefully they didn't forget this Pangsong too much.
I think they did. That's why
you need an eye-catching
yes,
thumbnail. So,
yes.
근데 어떻게 posing 해야 돼? How did she pose? Because when she walked into the press room and she was like,
you think that's good for a thumbnail?
I don't fucking know.
Well, yes.
Long time no see, y'all.
Yeah. What's the reason being why we're missing out so much?
Girl, because I was too damn tired of doing this shit. So I need to take a break.
He's tired of me.
Girl.
And
period.
That's basically
that part.
Pretty much, yes.
Good. Well, I got busy doing one certain video and it was taking me too much time to, so I didn't have time to come here and all that. So I was like, Edward, I need to take a break. And by the time I finished that video, I was like, Edward, I'm refreshed. And you were like, bitch, I'm in fucking Japan. I was like, never mind.
Well, I was on a business trip / little vacation. So it took a little bit long.
I could say something else.
Pardon? What else is the reason I could go to Japan for? Second wave Korea revolution or something? Like, why? Being a spy or something? I did enjoy my Korea.
You're from CCP anyway, so I wouldn't be surprised.
I cannot deny the fact that I am from the CCP. I was born there and I was proud.
Oh my god. Because I was about to say, I've been doing Bounce Beauty. And, everybody keeps asking me when the fuck
DoubleD's
coming back.
I got so many DMs.
Yes. People tell me in person, I'm waiting, bitch. I'm waiting. I'm like, girl, we're coming back in a bit. Just give us a second. But a few people are from Canada. A lot of people are from Canada. And some of them had gifts for you. I fucking forgot to bring them.
You never give it. If you're watching, Edward didn't give me shit. I miss Canada so much. I want maple syrup.
One girl bought you a bunch of plastic bags from a certain market because she said...
Shoppers Drug Mart?
Maybe? I don't remember. They were yellow. And I was like, what is this? She's like, oh, it's not really... It's a gift, but it's not like... It's just for fun. Like, oh, she wants you to have like a piece of Canada again.
Or maybe she's just suggesting if you found Edward annoying, just use this
throw him in these plastic bags.
And then just suffocate
him. Throw his
ass
out. Police call on that bitch. Police call on that bitch.
In that case, yeah.
Boy, anyway, what are we talking about today? You better make this shit good, Edward, because...
As the outfit is suggesting, we're talking about the Hybe and Min Hee-jin incident.
Girl, you're talking about it because, recently. If I'm honest, all I saw was memes from the conference and on Reddit, and from what I've seen on the Western part of K-pop internet, everyone seems to be not necessarily Hybe side. They also think, a lot of people still think Hybe is shit, but a lot of them are very much shitting on Min Hee-jin.
They're tired of Min Hee-jin.
They fucking they've hated her since the cookie.
Yes.
In Korea, it seems like most people are on Min Hee-jin side, and they hate Hybe because, big company.
Well, a newspaper just recently did a survey upon who's on whose side, and apparently, beside Korean people in their 40s to 50s, because those surveys are based on an age group, all the other age groups beside 40s to 50s are on Min Hee-jin's side. And the comments were like, the reason why people are in their 40s and 50s on Hybe's side is because they're the stockholders of Hybe. They're very upset because millions of dollars evaporated because of the incident.
They're on the stock side. Meanwhile, every other age group are on Min Hee-jin's side because of the memes. Come on, yeah.
I don't, to be honest, because I speak native Korean, and I was there. I was right that moment.
You were there at the press conference.
No, I dished everything. I watched it live.
You are that bitch that would do that.
Yes, I watched it live.
No replays for you. You're watching live.
I watched
set.
it every single second, because you know how we used to work in the entertainment industry, and some of our friends previously even working in like YG and stuff.
Yeah.
So we had this group chat where we're like,
y'all were eating that shit
all
up.
watching it live.
Not the live
and
chat.
we're commenting in our group chat, like, because we are not on Minijin's side in the beginning. By the way, my jaw is swelling because I recently did a procedure. So I apologize for.
So
I don't always look like this.
Another day in Edwardson's life.
Yes.
So you guys were not on her side at the beginning?
Yes, because when this incident first happened, like Hybe is accusing Minijin, wanting to take the New Jeans out of the company and being the traitor and everything. And the majority of our group chat was like, "Oh my god, I knew this already," because I've heard this from people who work in Hybe, saying that Minijin is a hard person to work with, because she's very arrogant and she does not. This is a quote from my friends. Okay, basically, they were foreseeing this. They're not expecting the opposite to come. So they're all on Hybe's side before the conference, and then during the conference, because I'm not sure if you've seen it in the beginning, because there were so many cameras flashing on Minijin's face, and she was like, "Please stop the cameras flashing, because it makes."
I can't see.
Yeah, like I'm just a normal person, and with this amount of camera flashing at me, I might get a panic attack or something. And we were just laughing. That's kind of evil, but we thought Minijin was pretending. Because
of course, that's something you would normally
Yes.
expect for someone to say at the beginning of
Yes.
an important press conference like that.
Yes.
Oh, please, the flashing lights.
Yeah, because I feel like this is a very important conference where she should present herself as a very calm and strong CEO, just so to actually make the public to actually be on her side. The more emotional and irrational she behaves.
So you guys felt like, oh, she's just trying to play at people's heartstrings to try and get them on her side via this acting, I guess.
Acting like a victim, but she was doing it too obvious. So I thought it was gonna be the opposite effect. So in the beginning, we were even more on the hype side, right?
Yeah. When I was seeing the articles about that, that's also my first thought.
And then she was crying and she was just being very emotional, and then was like, "Oh my god, she's over. Hype is right." But then she started to explain everything, and then magically, we are all on Minhyunjin's side. This is it's such a magical experience.
Come on, magical experience.
How first and you're completely on the other side, and then the person is being very emotional and crying, explain like this thing that we hate the most is people explain something by crying and trying to convince you by playing the victim. But as a person who have worked in a Korean cooperative environment, I somehow believe what Minhyunjin said is completely true, because first of the timeline, I vividly remembered when Le Seraphim first debuted. Before that, Minhyunjin was on Yuki's on the Block, saying how she sort of created the album Pink Tape, and how FX's Pink Tape, how successful she like she's being successful making girl groups, and now she's in Hybe trying to make another girl group to debut, but she did not mention the name. But a few months later,
making albums?
Yes,
isn't Eugene's her first own girl group?
Yes.
Because before that, she was helping curate albums.
Yes.
Like concepts and stuff, which, by the way, that was, I first heard about her through the Pink Tape, like the stuff that was coming out up to the leading of the album. Legendary.
She was a CD of the everything.
Also, she did Shiny.
Yes, she did Shiny. And XO's Ududong.
Really?
Yes, Ududong is by Minhyunjin.
Look at that.
Yes. So if you look back, a lot of the legendary concept was proposed by Minhyunjin. Of course, she has a huge group, like a team behind her to make it happen.
Yeah.
That's why we're saying we were against Minhyunjin in the first place, because she sort of take all the credits, like attributed to her.
She make it sound like she did everything.
She did everything. Yes. But then when she put up the timeline together, first she was on the Yuki's on the Block, which is a very, very famous Korean talk show, saying that she she's getting a lot of publicity because a lot of people realize, oh, she is the the person behind the scene making everything happen. So there's a high expectation during that timeline, because the meeting announced that there's a girl group been produced by her. It's gonna be soon debuted, and then a few months later, Le Sserafim debuted, but Hybe did not specify if Minhijin
if that was the group Minhijin was talking about.
Yes, so a lot of people, including me, thought Le Sserafim was New Jeans.
I didn't see her interview on what's the show called? You Quiz on the Block?
You Quiz on the Block.
I didn't see that. Oh, You Quiz on the Block.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't see that. So I just thought, I'm like, oh, they have a new girl group under Playdesign 아니지. Playdesign? No.
Source Music.
Source, right.
Yeah,
Source.
Le Sserafim's under Source Music.
I didn't know that. Hear that connection.
So the reason why people got confused, first of all, is because the clip went viral. How she got a lot of publicity and a lot of attention as well. Plus, people were expecting, because when Minhijin joined Hybe, there was huge newspapers talking about it too. So people were expecting the first group that came out of Hybe was supposed to be produced by Minhijin. That's why me, including a lot of people in the industry, they thought Le Sserafim was New Jeans.
But then when we saw the content from Le Sserafim, you're like, this is not.
Because I remembered the teaser of Le Sserafim was very Calvin Klein.
Very.
You know what I'm saying?
Le Sserafim.
And they're wearing very clean tank tops and the jeans.
It's giving athleisure.
Yes.
Le Sserafim.
There's nothing 청량함 about, because the Minhijin's concept is all about
being like bright, fresh,
bright and fresh and light,
youthful
and light. But the Le Sserafim debut is giving like city, metropolitan, modern.
It's giving Maybelline ad.
Yes, exactly. Oh my god!
See a train pass by with a giant eyelash on it and mascara. Yeah.
And then they're walking and then turn back and then look at the camera. Maybe it's Maybelline. Yeah. Like things like that.
Amazing teasers, but not at the time.
Nothing related to.
I know, because I didn't see the clip from You Quiz on the Block, so I was still waiting for Minhijin's group. When I saw Le Sserafim, I was like, oh, they're just, making a group. It has nothing to do with Minhijin. But I guess for you, you saw that, thinking it was Minhijin's group, Minhijin's group, and you're like,
because literally her clips from You Quiz on the Block went viral first, and then the timeline just matches together. There's
so she mentioned this in the press
later
conference.
Yes, she did. She said, the Pang Xiao has promised her that the girl group that she produced will be the first girl group debuted in a title of 방탄소년단 BTS 동생 group.
Really?
She thought that was the case.
And that's so she was okay with that. She's okay with having that title of 방탄소년단.
She was there to make the BTS 동생 group to be the first girl group because it will get a lot of publicity.
그치.
So New Jeans will have a better chance to success. We know that New Jeans are right now successful, but remember, this is pre-debut, so no one will know if they're going to be successful or not, right? But before New Jeans debut, they were like, oh, there's going to be another group called Le Sserafim that's going to debut before New Jeans, and we cannot give any promotion plans to promote New Jeans before Le Sserafim go debuted.
Who said this?
This is there's Pang Xiao, and there's another person in charge called Park Jiwon, and Park Jiwon is another person in charge, and he was the one who's communicating with Minhijin about how the debut plan and the promotion plan is gonna go
for Le
Sserafim and New Jeans.
So when Minhijin saw this,
she's not happy.
Yeah. This is in the Kakaotalk?
No, the Kakao is something else. That's why in the conference she was crying, and she felt so backstabbed.
Yeah,
because
she originally thought New Jeans would be first.
Yes,
and I don't know. I guess Le Sserafim later.
And the more upset, the reason why she felt even more upset is because they specifically said they want people to be confused whether Le Sserafim is produced by Minhijin or not.
So then they want some people to almost think that this is Minhijin just for publicity.
Just for publicity.
Oh, this is possibly Minhijin's group.
And this really hits me because they were right. I gave a lot of attention to Le Sserafim because
I would have thought that they were going to get a lot of attention anyway because it's in general a Hybe group, and it had Sakura and it had Chaewon. So I thought, oh, they're already going to be popular.
that 1 + 1 is even more than 2 because this is you remember the first girl group after Hybe is established, and they're not sure if it's going to be successful. Right now we can see Hybe is producing a lot of successful groups, but back in the timeline they only had 방탄소년단, right? Remember that's the only. Now their stock market has been very high before the mini happened, but at that timeline they really only had BTS, which is a huge risk for a company.
Big hit.
Yes.
Because if you're talking about Hybe, don't they technically have all those other groups like 17?
The girl group. Right?
Well, they have Promise 9.
They do. And we'll talk about Promise 9 later. They do. Guys don't. So the timeline really matches.
있지 않아? And there was 여자친구.
Girlfriend.
And then we know what happened with that.
The girlfriend was mentioned.
Oh, girl, we'll talk about that too.
Yes. So because what she has said when she put up the timeline together, it really hits me. Each single timeline that she proposed was true, and I was like confused, and people around me were confused. And then there is like Kakaotalk saying like giving her proof that that they were really actually doing this. Also, the Pangseo smart too, like the way he puts it. When NewJeans first got into Billboard Hot 100, Pansy was talking to NewJeans like, "Are you happy?" And then it's normal to
ask. How do you
ask
say in Korean?
즐거우세요? 즐거우세요?
That
like
kind of sounds
in a very
shady.
You guys think, oh, maybe it just it's just text. It can't get confused.
Be misconstrued.
But and the next NewJeans said, 왜요? And then the next 방시혁 asked, 즐거우시냐고요? Are you happy? Right? The
vibe,
tone.
The tone is very much like, you happy? But then means like, why?
Why do you ask? And
I asked if you're happy.
Yes,
like that vibe.
It's exactly because the first sentence, people might get confused if this is being sarcastic or really asking it for it. But the third, it's
the next text that he sent.
즐거우시냐고요?
Yeah, I asked if you're happy.
Yes.
Like that. Ooh,
it's literally
that's crazy
because it really hits me. That's why I literally remembered every single text. 즐거우시냐고요? And even so and so, it becomes a meme in Korea now.
Oh.
People asking each other, 즐거우시냐고요? Are you happy?
I asked if you're happy.
Yes.
Wait, why did he was upset they entered the Billboard?
Yes, because NewJeans was saying there was like a rivalry sort of sort of even relationship between Panseo and NewJeans, and which is what I don't understand, because Panseo thought NewJeans is a person who's very talented, and then the more successful NewJeans get, somehow it's sort of a threat for him, because the more power that NewJeans gets. So in my opinion, I think Panseo were afraid that NewJeans eventually is gonna leave the company and make an entertainment company her own. Panseo took NewJeans from SM, but he didn't realize how successful the NewJeans did make.
Expect much from her. But isn't Listen Favorite also really doing well?
Yeah, later on I did it really well.
It was entering the Billboard that upset him.
He was being just being very sour about it.
Eh?
He was just being very sour about it because I think from the conversation it was like, I think he's being very just envious about how this whole thing is being very successful. Of course, there will be behind the scenes that I don't know, and I do think those two relationships are not going really well because later on, when people look at the past post that was posted by Bang Si-hyuk, there's no single picture that Bang Si-hyuk took with NewJeans. There are pictures even Bang Si-hyuk took with Promise 9 and 17, everything, and then posted on his social media, but there's no NewJeans, which is very odd because NewJeans is one of the most successful group within Hybe, but he does not take one single picture with them.
For me, I knew something was up when I've heard through the grapevine, even way at the beginning, I heard through the grapevine that he did, and I'm sure this information came out about how originally Bang Si-hyuk didn't want Danielle to be in the group. And when I first heard that, I was like, you gotta be lying. Later on, it came out that he actually said that.
Yes.
I was like, that's fucking insane.
So there's a lot of things that we knew beforehand, and then
Babes, the shaman thing, I thought it was so funny when it came out because you literally told me about the shaman. You're like, I'm gonna go see the shaman that she went to. I was like, girl, I need to get to that shaman too.
Okay, so maybe you guys don't know what it is because I work in fashion. A lot of people who work in fashion believe in shamanism. Not like you have to be like to donate your blood to the mother of God, Earth of God or something. You just go there and it's basically a fortune teller.
It's like a fortune teller.
Yes, it's just like.
But the method is slightly different. What they do, they're like, oh, spirit enter my body.
Yeah, they'll shake the pangwur, which is the ding ding. What is pangwur? Okay, American people don't know how to speak English.
What?
Ring the bell. There's a specifically bell that the bells that's made for shamans. They will shake the bells as a way to connect to the god that they're worshiping and asking for the the client's future for it. So I was introduced to the shaman by the company that I'm working with. She said this is the shaman that Min Hee-jin goes to, and this is before all the incident.
Yeah.
So
this is months ago.
So in the industry, people are well known that Min Hee-jin goes to a shaman, but this is very common because if you guys don't know, Christian Dior, before every single couture show, he will go to a tarot teller, like tarot. He will go like to pick the the date and everything. I guess it's just there's something that make you feel like more comfortable by making choices. Gives
you assurance because you have this sort of guidance, I guess.
Yes, and it is going to a shaman is very common in Korea. I don't think it's like a cult thing. It's just it's
almost like a religious sort of thing. It's kind of like the same way people go to the church to pray about. They go inside a little box and they confess their sins to, gives them sort of. But
not necessarily, they are so, they're loyal to the God and they believe in, not necessarily. They just go there for
it's just like a fortune telling thing.
Yes.
But I just thought it was just funny because a lot of people saw these shaman allegations or whatever and they thought, because to be honest, it sounds ridiculous.
Yes.
Right? To have a shaman kind of, especially with the conversations that came out between the two, but in general, hiring a shaman to like direct you in the way that you're going to debut your group. So of course it's going to sound fucking ridiculous, but it's just funny because it literally, that's what happened.
Yes.
But you would not expect that.
Even though that's the case, I felt like, in my opinion, based on what she said, I think it's what Hybe's done to her. It's just more shady. Like, first of all, you letting Le Sserafim debut first and not giving New Jeans any promotional chances. Because they said it will affect negatively on the Le Sserafim.
Yeah.
So I think Hybe is basically putting on a lot of focus on Le Sserafim instead of New Jeans. And the proof is in Pan Seok's personal post because he never mentioned about New Jeans publicly and never took any pictures. So it was very obvious. And when when New Jeans went on stage to say thank you and everything, right? They always mention about adore. They never mention Hybe, which is very different from other artists from Hybe.
Really?
Yes, because it all came on as a backlash when this incident happens because people found out a lot of
little details previous clips and stuff that it makes sense now.
It all makes all the dots are connected.
So at this point in the press conference, y'all in the group chat already convinced that you're on
Min Hee-jin's side.
At what point was it for you where you heard it and you're like, oh shit?
And the point is like how as I said, they would want people to be confused if the first girl group because the first group from Hybe did have a lot of impact, a lot of public attention because everyone wants to know what's the girl version of BTS.
Yeah,
that's why. Right, the second one will never get as much as attention as the first one.
Yeah.
If I'm a person who using all my my lifetime of energy to produce a girl group, and then knowing that the woman version of BTS got stripped from me, then I'll be very upset as well. Don't you think? And that's when the timeline, you don't know if you're going to be successful.
Min Hee-jin doesn't come off as a type to me though that would want to make a group with a name like the female version of BTS, because
like she would not, of course, say, "Oh, New Jeans is the the Tongsing group of," but people will assume because the public will assume that, right? Because it's from the same company and then the first group, that new group that was ever produced by Hybe. Because From Him's Night and 여자 친구, the company were bought by Hybe. It was not literally produced because there are separate companies in the beginning. And then got debuted, and then Hybe bought the company. And then the group they did become Hybe's girl group, but it was not the first girl group that Hybe has produced ever after Hybe has been established. So there's a huge difference. And regarding Girlfriend, there's a lot of backlash on that too. Is because the source music got absorbed by Hybe, and all of a sudden, the last album by New Girlfriend, the concept has been completely changed.
Yeah, so random.
To
Mago? Which, by the way, my friend co-wrote.
Apple.
Oh yeah, Apple. That was so random.
Yeah, because people were maybe people has been over interpreting, because the concept of the song Apple and like the later on songs are about there being witches. Before, Yeoching is very 청순함.
Yeah,
right?
very just like girlfriend.
Because their reference group was 소녀시대.
Yeah, right.
Yes, they're the second 소녀시대, right? But from 소녀시대's, lovely, girly, and young, fresh concept to witch.
Yeah, that was weird.
Like, and one of because I remember watching the news, it was mentioned one of the member of Girlfriend were saying that she was surprised about, she didn't want to do the concept as well. But
of course,
because you look, if you like the makeup and everything.
The makeup was kind of good though, to be honest.
But it makes them look,
it made them look very like more mature. But I don't know, from a makeup artist perspective, it was really beautiful. But yes, it was very fucking rare. I was like, because I wasn't aware about the whole like Hybe buying source or whatever. So I was just like, why the sudden?
And Promise 9 recently were doing a live broadcast saying that they did not even get 청산, which they did not even get paid.
Damn. And it's not like they're like a new group.
Yes.
They sell quite a number of albums.
Yes.
Like over, I think 150,000 was their last one. And
that clip went viral in Korea. They were surprised. They're under the label of Hybe, and they've been debuted for a few years, so they didn't get paid. So,
and to be honest, although they're not like huge like some of the other Hybe groups, a lot of their songs are quite legendary almost.
Yeah.
A lot of like Gunin know them. Like soldiers and boys know them a lot. They always get those people that are like lip syncing their songs on social media that go viral. Yeah.
So the whole incident, from my understanding, and by reading and watching everything, I could be wrong, but But if you guys are against my opinion, please be a friendly interpreter of what I've been interpreting, and then please discuss, do not attack me. But but from my understanding, Bang Seo knew Minijin is a really good creative director and producer. So he firstly hired Minijin to be to produce a new girl group, but in a purpose of getting all the know-hows, wanting to know like what Minijin's way of thinking and
creative process.
Producing, because Minijin specifically mentioned in the conference there is certain formula that she has created to make the group.
Does this include the shaman?
That's maybe as a bonus. There's certain formulas, but Hybe is trying to copy and learn that formula, how to produce the group, which she thinks is the beauty of Eyelid. Yes, because the purpose of Bang Seo hiring her, it's like, oh, we are like, you are the CEO of that branch company, I'm the CEO of this, and we all get money, we all happy, we just let's make K-pop hot, and but
it turns out,
it
really was just to absorb information and learn about her creative process so that they can produce a group like Eyelid.
And even more, because what people are realizing is like Hybe has been debuting a lot of groups, just like a K-pop factory. So they know, they just observe all the formulas and then get a lot of trainees to debut as fast as they can to pump up more and more contents to make more money. So a lot of people are accusing Hybe that Hybe, this way of producing K-pop is ruining the industry, which I think is true.
Yeah, it's becoming, I don't know,
fast food K-pop.
Yeah, I notice these days I have such a hard time answering the question, who's your favorite K-pop artist? Because it's like my aespa. I mean, but it's almost like it's not really so much as my favorite group. It's just like, what song do I like at the time? And I feel like it's a combination of that plus TikTok. Make it like this whole system, it just makes it like you chew one thing, you spit it out. It doesn't help. But these days, a lot of comebacks where it's like 2 or 3 pre-release singles and then a title track.
Yes.
And I'm like, it doesn't help me appreciate the music as much.
Yes,
so
right?
yeah, I just feel like
there's too much.
Yeah, too much
in front of you. There are too much choices. and you don't know who to choose to be your bias, and if you like one group and they are another day, then another group is debuted by Hybe. Yes, so I completely agree with what she's concerning and she's saying. Also, there's another thing that I think she did not contrive but happened anyways, which turns out to works in her benefit. Is Le Sserafim went to Coachella, and this is before the incident. If you put on the timeline together, Le Sserafim went to Coachella, and their live performance maybe was kind of subpar, so it went viral because.
By the way, they were fucking dance-wise, they were fucking killing it. But the thought of them being in the desert singing live, which Coachella you're supposed to sing live, right? Every person that performs it sings live. I don't blame them for the vocal performance.
But the thing is, this is not the first time this has happened.
That's true. That's not the first time. But it's just, I feel like this whole thing was separate. Well, first of all, it started this whole fucking train about like, everyone is suddenly a vocal teacher. Yes, I know. I would talk about how like, oh my god, K-pop these days, they can't sing that well. But I think people went overboard with it. I
do think so too. I don't think Le Sserafim should be hated for this. But it just this works as a favor for Minijin, because Le Sserafim's live performance has been criticized over and over again. First on the music 방송 shows in Korea,
the encores.
Encores, and it went viral first. And then I sort of get, people get like forgot about it and whatever. And then it finally like exploded because of the Coachella performance. So I think if Le Sserafim's like live performance skills or like it has been always consistent, I don't think
it would have been an issue.
This amount of backlash. To be honest,
I feel like it just really opens up the conversation about how, like you're talking about how K-pop right now is just such like a factory that they're really throwing skills out the window and just in favor of just decent dancing with good music and just performance, and they don't really care about like the entire package. Whereas we're gonna sound like fucking old because we are old, but back in the day it's like you're trained in every area of being an idol, but now it's more just like as long as you can dance
and you look good,
you have at least one or two decent singers in the group, as long as the studio recording sounds good, then you'll be fine.
Yes. And
so I feel like it just exposed all the bad parts about the K-pop industry,
which I think is a good thing, because someone has to step up and to say something about it. The reason why I think Minijin got a lot of support from the Korean public is because she actually pointed out something that people wants to address for a very long time, which is something that I wanted to address. Having the experience working in the Korean environment, the Korean comedy environment, even giving me more, like I can sympathize more about. Of course, Minijin is working as a CEO. She has more power, but she has to listen to
the
boss. Say. So it works sort of like employee and boss. So I can reconcile how 답답해 she must has been felt during the process. So that's why a lot of people. I
understand.
Plus, all the dots has been connected to one line, and then New Jeans has never been, criticized about their life, but Le Sserafim has been constantly, and then Le Sserafim has a lot of attitude issues.
Really?
In Korea, it went viral.
About what?
홍은채.
Inche. About what?
Because she was speaking Korean, the tone is very subtle, so I think a lot of Korean people got it, but not a lot of people overseas who think it's exaggerating. But doesn't matter. Every single thing just adds up all together, and then works against Hybe, and then works for benefits for in terms of Minijin. So I think
in
that's
the whole situation, including the whole islet thing. I mean, all those clips were going viral as well.
Exactly. Before this happened, Islet and Le Sserafim's, they're all been criticized, and those things are not controlled by Minijin, right? So they didn't ask.
It just piled up on top of each other.
She was just addressing that. The Hybe is sort of ruining the culture, and then she mentioned about the photo card thing as well. She said, "I don't want to do that because I feel like it's just taking too much money from the fans."
And also, didn't she say something about how it's just like creating a divide for like, oh, you only like certain members, etc., etc.
Yes. Exactly. So
especially when you're like one member's photo card will be popular and the others aren't or something.
And they have to constantly be purchasing albums, and then the company will sure make more money, but she thinks it's very unhealthy fandom culture.
Which, by the way, I was at the CoEx Mall recently, and I went to the bookstore, and I was just looking around the CDs out of curiosity because I don't look at physical CDs anymore. Ives' recent album, they made one version per each member, and there was, out of curiosity, I was looking at one Young CD, wasn't there. Then I realized there's a sticky note there that says, "We ran out of the Changwon Young version. Stop asking us." I was like, oh my god. Right, this is the type of culture that K-pop has become.
The Korean public has realized that and appreciate more for groups like 21, Blackpink. The current girl groups, a lot of the clips by aespa singing live, you really look at it again and saying, oh wow, you know, idol's job is to perform and to sing, but nowadays we cannot even expect more.
Yeah. And I was actually on the way here, I was thinking about this, how the standards for vocal performances from idol has gotten so low that as long as they hit the right notes, people are okay with that. But they don't even care about whether the actual sound of the voice sounds pretty or not. I was thinking specifically, and NMIXX fans will come for me because I like NMIXX too, but they have a lot of high notes in their songs. But girl, the way they make it, because they legitimately sing live, right? But their dancing is so bakse, like their choreography is intense, but they got to hit these really high notes. So yes, they'll hit the notes, but it doesn't sound like the most aesthetically, like,
I know what you're saying.
It almost sounds like shouting song, which Baby Monster, love Baby Monster, by the way.
Sheesh.
But Sheesh and Batter Up. I'm excited for their new promotional single, the one because it's written by Charlie Puth. But
yes.
Yeah, Ion, great performance skills, amazing performer, but she'll have notes where she's literally just shouting, kind of. And yeah, she technically hits the note, but it kind of just sounds like she's yelling it. And I feel like this happens to a lot of artists. Like I said, the fans' expectations for vocals has gone so low. When we just hear a note, even though it's being shouted, as long as it's the right note, they don't mind. They're like, oh my god, killing it, eating CDs. And I'm like,
well, can you imagine dancing in that intensity and you have to make that note?
Exactly.
You know, if I were them, after the performance, I'm ordering 2 bowls of jajangmyeon.
Ah, girl.
I will be exhausted and hungry. I can eat like 2 jajangmyeon.
Yeah, because they don't care about, when they choreograph songs now, they choreograph it for, you know, the visual aestheticness, which I get it, but they don't even think about the vocal performance. They choreograph it without thinking about how they're moving at the time, whether they can, you know, control the breathing during certain movements. So, because I remember when I used to be in the studio, and Friday would, you know, try to record shit, and I would hit the notes technically, and Friday would be like, okay, so you hit the notes, now make it sound pretty. I'm like, girl, drag me.
Well, stay. That's Edward's debut song.
Honestly, someone I made a few friends recently, and my one other friend that I've already known was there, just being annoying and was like, play his song. I'm like, and then that song came on, I was like, god damn, this sounds good. Still in 2024, stay hits.
Wow.
Honestly, all the times were kind of legendary, to be honest. But anyway, what I want to ask you about, though, because all right, press conference, everything. However, there was a point in time where some Kakaotalk messages were leaked.
Oh, I saw it.
So what do you think about that?
People are saying that the person they were addressing were Bang Xiao, like
Bang Xiao?
Jungduan.
The fat comments?
Yeah.
그래?
Yes.
And not trainees or...
Yes. Some people are saying that. I didn't look at it in details. I should look it again.
Because based off of what I did see, they seem
horrible.
Very inflammatory.
Inflammatory.
Yeah, which for the people that didn't like Min Hee-jin already, more fuel for them.
I do think Min Hee-jin is not necessarily the easiest person to work with, because from what I've heard from the industry,
she comes off as the type of person that when she has a vision, she does everything she can to make sure that vision happens.
Yes.
Even if it means running staff into the ground, being rude and mean.
She should treat her staff more nice, because that's what I've heard. As I told you in the beginning, no one's on Min Hee-jin's side, because a lot of people who work in the industry, and they have knew this already. But later on, the reason why I think a lot of people just, you know, on her side is because she did make it happen. She did make things happen. She was the one that really doing the work, and then at the end she got backstabbed, right? If you look at the result, I'm not saying Min Hee-jin I'm not saying I'm on her side or.
It's just two things can be true at once. Yes, when it comes to the press conference, it really convinced you that.
Yes, because she was stating the fact that I really I felt and it was true, and I really feel like she spoke out for a lot of people how unhealthy and how sick the whole K-pop producing environment is. And then right now K-pop is very strong. Who knows in 10, 20 years if this Hybe company keep producing just fast food K-pop.
Yeah.
Right.
But then also at the same time, she's made some L moves. Bro, like the whole cookie thing. Girl, that interview she did talking about how this is a fan song. Cookie represents the love for that girl. It's their debut album. What are you talking about? The fan song? That was kind of an L. The whole text message things, whoever they're addressing, whether it was Pangxia, whether it's some trainees, it's an aggressive way to be speaking.
Very aggressive.
Yeah.
In the conference, she was very aggressive. Either in the conference, she was swearing, she was cursing. Oh, that's true. Yes.
Wait, the whole Shibaiseki did it. What was that in reference to?
That was reference to Park Ji-won and Pang Seo, which is the
she sounds like me. These fucking bastards, like 그런 느낌?
Yes.
Oh my god.
그래서 이 아저씨들이 아니 개저씨들이 like 아저씨 means uncles, 개저씨 means fucking uncle.
Yeah.
So she was addressing Pang Seo and Park Ji-won in her sentence, but then she addressed them again. It's like, oh, those guys? No, actually those fucking guys.
Yeah.
And she said, if you work in the industry, there is no way that you don't swear and don't curse and then to make through the day because you have to. There's so many things happens as a woman who work in the industry. Then you have to be this mean and strong.
That's so true though.
That's true though.
Honestly, especially in this whole fucking thing run by these fucking annoying men. I do think a lot of non-Koreans took those clips of her just cursing and like the memes of like the lawyers looking stressed out. They took that as like, oh, Min Hee-jin is just digging herself into a deeper hole, but they didn't really look into the entire conference, seeing that actually she was making a lot of points that would make the general Korean public be more on her side, because a lot of foreigners are too lazy to try to look for they don't want to.
Yeah, and a lot of people not necessarily they have worked in a Korean cooperation environment. Korean in all OECD companies, they work the most hours.
Yeah.
I think the rank is definitely on the top 10.
OECD
countries association of certain countries, but OECD does not include China. Yes, but it includes most developing and developed countries. 2 days ago, I finished my work at 1 o'clock.
Damn. AM.
Exactly. Yes, AM. Exactly 12:45. I was at the company that I'm cooperating with. I was at their office. So I felt her really like, for a person,
let it out, girly,
who wants to make her vision happen, and then she has to be very mean to her staff, which is very wrong. She should not do that.
Yeah.
But
I can understand being firm and being like, this is the vision, we need to make it this, but like in the crazy language and like
that was not necessary, but
absolutely not necessary.
But I felt like sometimes she has to say it just to
be taken seriously.
Yes, and that's why I felt like why in Korea most people are on her side, because they knew the culture here.
Yeah,
they knew what she must have felt, and it was a 2 hours conference. If she's contrived and pretend everything beforehand what she's gonna say and then how she perform it, then she might win the next Oscar, because everything looked very natural for me. It was very emotional, but I do want to say that I don't think she's a good person to work with. If you are slacking off a little bit or you did not meet her expectations, she will treat me like shit. I am pretty sure.
Yeah.
So
what do you think about like the parents of the New Jeans members getting involved? Which, by the way, I don't know if I'm on Min Hee-jin's side or Hybe side. I'm on New Jeans side, honey. I just want them to do well.
You remember the parents wouldn't lie, right? The parents were saying, New Jeans was saying hi to Pang Seo, and Pang Seo ignored their hi.
On the elevator?
Yeah, on the elevator.
That's
or
crazy.
Something. And then ignored her. People they dig up all the clips of how the New Jeans Insa like saying hi to other people. They were literally doing this. 안녕하세요. And they're being very nice.
Yeah.
And of course, they're going to do that to Pang Xie. And then Hybe sent out an explanation letter.
I was saying how he has face blindness.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Pang Xie doesn't know, has a difficulty.
Which is a real thing, actually. There was even a clip of him, was it V? There was one BTS member where they didn't recognize him, even though they were in the company for a year. But literally, how many people? There's not that many groups in Hybe.
What I want to say is, what's the symptom is called?
Face blindness.
Face blindness is you couldn't recognize who that person is. But the action of people saying hi to you and they're bowing to you is it's not face blindness.
That's literally part of Korean culture.
Yes.
You say hi to everyone.
Yes. You
especially
have
if they
to
say it
that.
first.
Yes.
Right?
So if you don't recognize that person's like 안녕하세요, 안녕하세요, doing this, a bunch of them, because New Jeans is a group, right? You see a group of young girls,
young, pretty, fresh girls that got you all this money.
Yes, not necessarily they can recognize them, but you see a bunch of people saying hi to you, and even though you don't know who they are, your reaction is try to ignore them. That's just, for me, that's just a fake explanation for what he has done.
If he's going so out of his way to not associate with New Jeans, you would think he would know their faces.
Yes.
If he's trying so hard not to have them on his Instagram and like try to ignore them and be studying Min Hee-jin's like methods, you would think he knows what they look like at least.
Of course. And
but in general, the insa, the not saying
that's I don't buy it. I don't think you have to live in Korea to know that. I don't buy it. It's just it's a ridiculous explanation. Also, what he has said during the Kakaotalk, he was like, "에스파 밟으실 수 있죠."
Oh, you can destroy aespa?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Can you, the literal
supernova. It's like is that right?
It's I'm kind of supernova.
I don't want to sound like a fucking idiot.
Well, you failed.
Which,
to
by
do
the
that.
way, on their new album Armageddon, Melody, the last song, fucking amazing. It's a ballad.
Love. No, I love aespa. I bought it.
I'm like
some kind of supernova.
I'm obsessed. And I hated it at first, to be honest, but I'm not gonna lie, this part got me. Love it.
And
Obsessed.
The literal translation of what Pang Xie has said is, "Can you step on aespa?"
Come on, step on.
Like 밟으실 수 있죠. Like step on them means to press them down and to to become the number one by stepping on them.
Step back. I need to make this right. I need to make this sound bit. Step back, silly girl.
Taeyeon apparently hated it. Yeah, she
hated it. I wouldn't
it.
blame her.
She doesn't want to do it.
The idea of it's like iconic, but I think the execution. Well, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of was obsessed with both songs, but I can see why people were annoyed by it. And also, it didn't help that it delayed aespa's comeback, so a lot of aespa fans hated it.
Yeah. Also, the lyrics, the Korean lyrics were very ridiculous, very childish. So a lot of Korean people didn't like it. I love the song as well, but the reason why I think that this project did not continue after Isuman left the company says a lot about what's going on inside of SM.
In general, the fact that there's no more eyes. What happened to the 4 eyes?
Yes, the eyes and
but to be honest, good riddance. I did not care for them.
I kind of like it.
I
kind of dig the
I feel like they didn't
concept.
do enough with them. For me, it was the fact that they never changed their outfits.
Yes.
I hated that. The idea of like them being like Bratz dolls and they can like they change their outfits for every comeback, iconic. But they wore the same clothes every comeback.
But people were saying that the reason why there's the characters stay the same now is not because of lack of budget. It's because SM were going to produce a platform which is called Kwangya, so all the K-pop fans can join them and make their avatar. So it was a sort of promotional tool to actually to promote their new platform. But after Isuma has left, and that thing never happened, because I guess everyone thought it was a horrible idea.
Yeah, I like it much better now though. I feel like they have more creative freedom to.
Yes.
Because when you don't have to include the fucking eye shit, then I feel like you can fully realize their kind of like this sort of like post-apocalyptic, like high fashion,
cyberpunk,
like the music wise, like Y2K-ish. Like it's truly giving.
Love aespa. Apparently, no one can step on aespa, and then people were making a really inappropriate joke about it. That if Pang Xi-hyuk really step on aespa, they definitely gonna die.
That's crazy.
Yes.
Did you see that picture someone dug up? It's not Pang Xi-hyuk, but it's someone that looks like Pang Xi-hyuk, and he's like in his underwear and he's posing with his hot girlfriend, and they're like, "This is Pang Xi-hyuk."
I didn't know.
It's just some random.
I'd rather not to see it.
It was giving like 노년동, like oppa with like a hot
노년동 사장님.
Yeah, 사장님 with a hot girlfriend. It was giving, but he looked like Pang Xi-hyuk. So I was like, what? But apparently it's not him.
I'm not on Pang Xi-hyuk's side. I'm not completely on Min Hee-jin's side.
I just want to see what happens in the end.
Yes, I'm just really curious because so far what happens till the day we filmed this, both New Jeans and their parents has submitted 탄원서, how do you say 탄원서 in English? Letter of inquiry to the court saying that Min Hee-jin should not resign, fired from the CEO plane. So now, because everyone was like, oh, this is a 50-50 number two. I don't think so. I think it's much more complex than that.
Yeah. Even if he stayed in there, it would be awkward to be in the building.
Yes.
Going to work every day, knowing there's like...
But as long as she's CEO, she could make the most of the decision, I guess. Also, if Min Hee-jin is really horrible and really not think much about the girls and using them as tool to make money, I don't think New Jeans' parents and New Jeans will be on her side at this kind of situation. They should remain silent.
Yeah.
To work as their benefit. Also,
I've seen some articles about what the parents were saying. Girl, I wish they would just shut up. God.
Also, one thing that really was convincing is because there is a famous Korean YouTuber called Lee Mal-yeon. Lee Mal-yeon is a former webtoonist. And his YouTube channel got very popular and millions of subscribers. Really? He's famous for how careful his action is, because in Korea, because it's a small country, one controversy can destroy your YouTube career. So he does not do any move that could ever damage.
What type of YouTuber is he?
He's just live broadcast, and he invites a lot of celebrities. New Jeans was on his channel.
Oh, right, because he's like friends with like the 감독 of the music video or something like that. Yes. Yeah.
He as well submitted the letter to the court to ask not
to have her resign.
If this ever failed, this might damage his entire career and get a lot of backlash. But he decided to do it, which is it gives a lot of credits. I see. Yes, because I watch his channel too. I know how careful he is. Yes, he's never picking the side. Now he's picking because this move is unnecessary. Yeah. He should, because he's completely out of it. He just invited New Jeans once in his channel and that was it. Why would he use his reputation to support Min Hee-jin and New Jeans? This says a lot, I think. Okay. On the surface level, at least. Well, so you guys' choice to pick on side or not to pick on side, just be like us. We just wait here and be silent and then see what's going on.
Be silent here. We're making a 1 hour long podcast about this shit.
Well, because people wants to hear about it, and then we need to make a strong comeback because we've been gone for too long. I just want them to
fucking release music, bro. I'm excited for the Japanese single. Oh. How do you like How Sweet and Bubblegum?
I loved Bubblegum immediately because it's just like ditto. It really reminds me of the childhood I could never have.
Absolutely, the whole aesthetic, it was giving Japanese, it was giving J-pop.
Bubblegum. Why? Okay, that was not pretty. You know what? You know what's giving K-pop? 고민 중독. 고민 중독.
What's that?
It's a recent girl band group. It's giving
Cure.
Yes, and the main vocalist was a contestant from a Japanese 방송. So
she has those vibes.
Yes, I think she got number. I forgot her ranking, but she graduated because they use the word graduated. She graduated from that show, and then she came to Korea, and then she did. She's Korean, by the way,
and their songs are doing really well. Yeah, and they're not even performing on shows.
Yes,
because they're a band, right?
Yes. Yeah. But the song is very J-pop like.
I've been hearing it all the time.
Yeah. 쏟아지는 마음을 멈출 수가 있을까? I love.
Come on, Coachella.
I love. Yes. Okay. That's a song by Le Sserafim. Which I feel like I still really like Eyelid and Le Sserafim.
Not gonna lie. still icons.
Me,
But I'm
me.
not gonna go to them looking for vocal performances. I don't expect, because the way they make songs these days, they make it hard to sing well, and also the whole they never give them songs to sing in their proper singing key, right? Which is why I like New Jeans, because if you notice, actually, especially watching their House Suite and Bubbly and all that. Well, specifically House Suite, it's actually they sing quite low. I've been told many times, even when I was recording music, I'm like, oh, the song is so high, but like it has to be high for it to give pop feeling, like to sound good.
To sound good, yes.
But I'm like,
to have
but
skills.
this is not my vocal range.
And New Jeans sound is all about giving people that nostalgic feels, and to feel more. The sound in general is very comfortable to hear. Yeah, and just give you that you lying into a huge bunch of marshmallows and you're bouncing, and that's really nice and soft feelings. I think that's what New Jeans is about.
Matcha.
Bubblegum. Okay, I'll stop. By the way, I met one of our viewers in Olivion yesterday in Hongdae, and I just got my injections, so I literally looked like a frog. And then
I'm sure she literally did not care.
I know, but it's just like, why would I bump into people who watch our shows when I'm at my ugliest stage?
You've been in this state all the time on the show. What do you?
You've
had bruises on your face. You've had this shit done. So it's like, what do you? She's seen it.
Before I bloom and become a butterfly, I have my
No, I'm still waiting for the butterfly.
Stage.
I'm still waiting for the butterfly.
You'll see my wings soon. When because on May the 31st, I think the court will make a final decision, and we'll watch and see.
We'll see.
Watch and see. So before that, let's just end this episode. No, you have more.
I think of another iMix song, but
iMix
switch up.
Okay.
I don't know the whole video about Hybe and me and Jen were singing iMix songs. Dash, I wanna dash. I wanna run it.
Well, guys,
I throw the dice, yeah.
I hope you guys enjoy our today's episode. I will see you next week. So long.